We are going to talk about if you ever wonder why there is an awkward, eerie silence right after you say hello to an unknown caller. It's not a bad connection, it's a calculated part of a multi-billion-dollar scam workflow. Stay with us to the end. We will show you the workflow for creating our next video about this subject. We pull back the curtains on the 3-second rule used by international callers. We break down the technical infrastructure behind Predictive Dialer, voice activation triggers, and the psychological tactics scammers use to verify your number is live. Did you know that a single scammer can call 1,000 people at the exact same millisecond? How they do that? It's called Predictive Dialer. They use AI to dial thousands of people at once and only connect a human if you speak. And that's the key. That's the key to our workflow tonight. Live lead database is created by staying online, even in silence. Make you a high value target for future scam. If you stay on the line and you say anything, that's what could probably happen. Voice fingerprinting. A scammer use those 3 seconds to record your voice for potential AI cloning. Saying hello, staying and saying nothing at all is often the best defense, right? So you get a dial by this phone, this unknown. Now you know that Predictive Dialer is behind it. And we're going to pull the curtains on that a little bit and talk about it. And we're going to talk about the defenses basically to avoid being added to this lead database that they create, and how to stay silent and say nothing, avoid using fingerprinting. Obviously, the best thing is to not pick up the call at all, but if you do, you have to know what to do, okay? Don't say hello once, don't say hello twice, just keep quiet. The silence is the most dangerous part of the call. Once you understand the workflow, you will know exactly how to stay one step ahead of the fraudster. So, why did I pick this subject, right? Why did I pick the subject, why scammers stay silent for 3 seconds when you pick up? Well, it's simple. As I was telling you during my previous live show, I look for videos, I look for subjects that have millions of views. And this topic happened to have millions of views throughout the internet, right? So I'm going to use that leverage, right, to build a script that will help me tap into that bonanza, so to speak, right? So the goal is to create a video script, create a B-roll script, review the video, and create a curiosity loops like I've been showing you here. Like, for example, this is a curiosity loop that I have built into tonight, right? Why did you know? Did you know that a single scammer can call 1,000 people, right? That was a curiosity loop that I created on the call, on this live show. And then I gave you 4 potential reasons how they do it or why they do it, okay? So now we're gonna create a script based upon that. I'm gonna show you how I create a script based upon that and how I create the B-rolls. And then we're gonna review the script and then potentially look at a segment of the video that actually shows part of what we're talking about here. So and we're going to be trying creating curiosity loop as we move along this far. Unfortunately, the script that I have is pretty. It's like a formula, so I won't be able to build a lot of specific loop within it. But you'll be able to see some. Like for example, would you like to see how I build a script? If you do, starts right here, right? Create a script for YouTube using, and I wanted to use my voiceover avatar as a narrator and a YouTube copyright free music, right? As part of my instruction that I give to my video creation. Now, they may not follow right away, so I know that I need to go back and pick that up, and we will see as we move forward that when I started looking at segment of the video, if they don't do it, I'll be able to just quickly provide that instructions to them. Okay. So this is just some basic information to the tool. To the, for example, I use ChatGPT. I could use Gemini. I could use a number of other tools for creating this. It doesn't really matter which one. It's the one that you prefer to use. I use every tool that I'm mentioning right now, except for NVIDIA AI. It's free for me. NVIDIA AI, I do have a paid version because I create a lot of videos, and I've been using it for a while now, and I kind of like it, so I decided to buy a subscription. But I'm not advertising them. You could use anybody you want. It's just basically, if you have a tool, this is how you do it. So now we're going to be talking about the script creation, right? Now, it's actually a twofer, right? I call it a twofer, a two-part. It's going to be a script plus emotional arc, right? So first, the inputs that I give the AI, right? So usually I would tell it create. So I give it the title that I want, and that's just only a suggested title. I will give it my target audience, and I like to do story driven because story driven are a little more difficult for AI to detect. And remember, we're trying to monetize during 2026 and stay monetized during 2026. So therefore, the tone that you want is to be story driven to allow to do that. Now, now this is important for your niche, right? My niche is military and veteran niche, right? So therefore, I want to instruct the YouTube to create a script for that niche in particular. So that way, when the video is created or when the script is created, it will give an instruction that actually tones it towards or change the narrative towards my niche. Yours could be a vegetable creation or vegetable making or vegetable growing, and it will create the version that actually matches your niche, right? The second part of that is I want to be a completely original story, completely new version, right? Inspired by, and this is where you have to do a little bit of research. You could, like I would take all of this here. I take all this, up to here. Copy. Sorry. And I put it right down here. Now, my suggestion also is that you could also search on the topic on YouTube, and you can find links. Like for example, you could say a scammer stay silent for 3 seconds. You could literally go here, go to YouTube, should be the regular YouTube, not that one. YouTube. Just search for this topic to some degree to see if something comes up. But that's mine right there. That's the one that I'm working on. Then you have a couple there, and you can see, let me see, 1.8 million view, 12x, right? So those are viral video you have there. You could literally go to them and get the URL, and you could use the URL to review all the content. You don't want to copy what they're doing, but you review the content and be able to digest it somehow, and create your inputs for your video, right? For your script, right? Because remember, this is all that I'm doing here is creating the input that would allow my ChatGPT to create a script. This is not the actual script, right? This is the instruction to the ChatGPT for creating the script, right? So I add all the information. I'm not going to add it right now, but I could. As a matter of fact, it doesn't really matter. So let me pick one. Upper line, don't care which one. I'll pick this one, the one that has the highest one. Let's see. Doesn't matter. 3-second scam sounds close enough. I'm not going to use this, but let's say that I pick this one. Go share, copy, go here, and I could add a link to it to give the script something to look at. Something a pattern to look at. You don't want to just do one. You want to review multiple, as many as you possibly can, so you could digest what is the best portion, and then you have to modify it to fit your need. So I'm going to erase it because I'm not going to use that one. I don't try to use my somewhat script here. And let's see what happens. So then now the other portion of that will make your script unique. For example, the first part was this, right? I bend it towards my niche, right? I bend the topic towards my niche, right? So it's not only a video about staying silent. Now it will have a flavor or something related to military or veterans, right? The second part that I do is, and you have many different arc. This is, and I talked about this in a previous live show. So if you need to go here and look that up, that'd be great. This is called emotional arc. So the emotional arc looks at the character, right? It's a foundational character who changes, often moving from place to place, or is vulnerable, something like that, right? Then he has a hook, establish their character's normal, they deep flaws, right? Anyone is perfect, right? So, when we talked about, hey, you might get a scam, it's a little bit scary, but anyone could get scammed. It could happen to anybody, but we're trying to give you what you need so you won't get scammed. But as you saw over here on the very beginning of the video, we talked about, have you ever wondered why there's an awkward, eerie silence right after you say hello, right? The next part of the emotional arc, the trigger, what actually causes the problem, right? And as you see right now, it's a phone call, right? It's a telephone call that causes the issue to happen, right? So, and then we looked at the crisis or the conflict that's ensuing, and then the epiphany that was created by the individual. Then we're going to look at potential climax or resolution as a result of that. And then there's more instruction here for the AI to do, and The goal is to create I always give it a big range from 3 to 20 minutes, because sometimes I don't know how much information I'm provided, and I don't want to. Right now, I want to create something longer than 3 minutes. So it could be 3 minutes, it could be 10 minutes. So I don't know at this particular point. Now, the other stuff, I'm not going to go over all of the different elements of my instruction, but you said before, if you are part of my show, but there are some core objectives, right, that you're going to be looking at. The main one here is we want to the video at the end to feel human, opinionated, and insightful, right? So, and I'm not going to read the rest of it, right? But the other key here is that you want the content to be safe for 2026 synthetic content, right? So at least the script will be, we are aware of what's going on, and want to be sure that this master script is created to avoid us getting hit by synthetic content. So we change all the different pieces. It's a workflow, but it has a lot of elements of it that are unique, and basically they could be changed, and that's what helps us avoid the synthetic content situation. Okay. The structure, I'm not going to read it to you. I'm going to read you the major topics. We want to be sure there are pattern breaking hooks throughout the video. The problem is framed based on the emotional and the strategic sense. If there are any reality, they get debunked, or there's any misinformation, it gets addressed. And then there's a credibility layer that we got to look at. And I'm not going to read that. So the point is, you want to make the viewer feel like we have inside knowledge, even though most of the things that we've done is actually do research to get us to the video. But at the end of the day, if you're telling a story, you have to do your research, right? You have to look into your topic, and that in itself will give you some sort of insider knowledge that maybe the common person would not really have, right? Now, down here is key to what we're trying to do. Avoid the demonetization, right? So we have a couple of wrong rules, things not to do. Like, for example, repetitive phrasing, identical uncommon YouTube script, sound generic AI narration. Things, I'm not going to read the rest, but you get the idea, right? And humanization, right? Include specific example and opinions. Now, remember, we want the script to sound human, right? Because at the end of the day, we are the one creating all the different parameters for it, right? We are the one doing the research. We are the one telling the AI what to write. So that's part of the thing about the demonetization. If you use the same script over and over and over again, that's what's going to happen. Now, the other big part is the B-roll layering, right? We want to be sure that we get 1 or 2 highly specific cinematic B-roll prompts. And I'm going to show you from the creation of the video how that happens, okay? I'm going to give you an idea how that happens, okay? And I give you an example so that the AI have an idea what I want, and I'm actually telling them what to avoid, right? Avoid this and avoid that. And then I talk about the output, what I'm looking for in an output, and what my final goals is as well. And why does it work, right? So it breaks the template. This thing breaks the whole template pattern, right? Injects originality and variation, which is what you want in a script. You want to be able to do that. You want to shift from an AI creator to AI assistant, as I've been saying on my previous live event. And you want the B-roll to be complex in nature, right? So basically, that's this whole thing here is my script master that I put together before I even actually create my script, right? That's all the information that I want to be sure that's unique. It's in there now because I wanted to save some time. I didn't want you guys to be just waiting around, even though it doesn't take that long. I take that information and I add it to ChatGPT, right? I just put in the prompt in here to start. I could give you this other example here. I'm not going to go into that, but what I did was I did create a script, right? It has the same title. So these are the to start. It has a hook, okay, and I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna show you a little bit. I'm not gonna go through reading anything like that, but I'm gonna show you later on. Now, this is an important part, the B-roll, because the B-roll, I'm gonna get a generic video once I create it, right? And I had to take the B-roll prompt. I had to create brand new prompts that actually matches. It's more unique to my presentation. Once again, you don't want to take whatever's given to you at first and basically just do that. So let me say, for example, I want to do this, right? I take the first. I'm gonna create both of these. Let me just see if I could create both of these to start. Control copy. And that's why I go to Meta AI. And if you have seen this before, it's not it's always fun to watch, right? I'm just gonna do two. I haven't done it for this the next step. I have to do that tonight or tomorrow so I can finish the video. But once it's doing that, let me go back here. Let me pick the second one. Now I'm gonna show you something on this one. So I'm gonna do this one a little different. Let's see what comes out of it. So you already created the first one. New chat. I'm gonna do that, but I'm gonna do something a little different. See if I can find my avatar. It's none of these that I want. That's not it. If I don't find it, I'll just create one. Oh, here you go. 2.0. I'm gonna take this avatar here. I'm gonna see if I could just add it to it real quick. It doesn't want to do it like that, so we do it this way. Control copy. Go back here. Which image do I want? I want A. I want B change. This one here. I can just add in my picture, see what comes out. So hopefully you'll get like me answering the phone or something like that, or some of that nature. Let's see what happens. Sometimes you could, if you add a picture on the script, you're able to create. If you want to maintain your I didn't do it. Just did the video. Did it do a video? Just a picture. Let me see. No, I didn't do it this time. So I got to go back and just do it without my avatar. I have another program that does that, but I don't want to waste your time looking at that tonight. I could maintain a consistent avatar throughout um, throughout the video if I want to. So by just putting a picture or the character on with each prompt, and it actually does that. So this time it didn't work, but a lot of stuff that I try sometimes it don't work. It's called experiment. And if you're doing something, you basically keep the picture there. What's going on? I will have to delete the picture. Go back here. Delete the image. Okay. Anyway, this is the first one here. So the phone is ringing. So that one worked. This one here didn't work. So it's not a big deal. Let's continue with that. But basically, you could create unique, and you should create unique B-roll for each one of them, right? So this is what I was talking about. He's framing the problem. I'm not going to read it, right? More B-roll, reality check. Now, I did created a video to start the process. It's not a finished video, but let's look based on what we have said. If at a minimum it brings up the hook on my avatar. Hopefully it will. Sometimes when I have too many things going at the same time, it doesn't do it. But tonight it's a night where nothing works. I just tested and it was working. So maybe I opened one file too many. Let me close a few of these. That one, this one, that one, this one, that one. I close everything that I don't need so that way I could let's give it a minute. We'll come back to it. But what you should be able to see is a introduction. Oh, here you go. So it doesn't have my voice avatar, but I'll be able to change that rather quickly. Every section that you see here is a different section of B-roll that are coming in. So let's look at the next one. So that is the dealing with my niche, right? So because I initially told the instruction to create the script based on the military niche, now it's bringing something to deal with the military, right? It's pausing too much. We'll come back in a minute. We'll come back in a minute. So that's what was going on, right? It's basically creating a storyline along the military war veterans, right? And I'm not going to ruin it by playing you the whole video. You kind of have to wait until tomorrow or the day after when I'm done with it, and I'm going to publish it, and you'll be able to see it on my channel. See it right here. So the script will give you a storyline which is related to something in the military or something within your niche. Remember what my niche is, right? So you create it within your niche, it will do the same thing. So even though somebody else told the story before, it was not told from the perspective of my niche. So therefore, the information that I'm providing is unique, which is basically what you want to provide. You want to provide unique storytelling for what you're doing, right? So that's what created the uniqueness of that, right? Um, so it tells you what the system is doing here. Let's try one more time, see if you actually. This is not fun. I'm not gonna bore you with that kind of stuff. But as you, okay, so Harris is a veterans, and the whole story is about that individual, how they handle the call, and that's what the script here is going through, providing all that, right? So we're going to the strategy as to what to do, what's the behavior that you need to follow, and we provide the B-roll for that, right? And then we said, let's make it practical, how to protect yourself. And we're talking about first unknown caller call, let it ring. If it's important, they will leave a message. Second, this is where the actual specific strategy that you need to follow, right? Right. Second, if you do not answer and hear silent, you what we recommend you do is you wait, say nothing. You wait, you give it 2 seconds, and then you hang up. If you haven't, like sometimes, but the reason why is that because sometimes you see that an unknown caller, you don't even answer it, right? Don't even bother. But if you happen to activate your phone, you say, "Oh, I should have known that." So what you do is you don't speak. You just stay silent for 2 seconds, and then you hang up, right? And there's a reason why I do that. The third one is never confirm personal information on an inbound phone call. You know how they say, "Oh, is your name is John Smith?" We already have it in our database. All you gotta do is confirm it. Don't do that because they, in effect, are trying to confirm information that they already kind of learned through second source, but they're not really sure. That you probably picked up a phone call earlier, right? And you got into a database, right? And you got then the database is sold to a lot of people. The scammer, they get a phone list, right? But they don't know if the number is real or not, right? So they use the automatic dialing system to call people. If anybody answer, that number is confirmed. So they sell that as a warm phone number, meaning there's a live bot in there. If you actually say hello, that gives you another category. And all these lists, right? They sold, they are more and more expensive. Like they could sell it, oh, that person is whatever. That number is a good number. Somebody lives there. So the scammer, all they gotta do is call you until you answer the phone. Because after they sold that list, people want to get their money's worth. So they just keep dialing the number because they know it's a good number. And eventually somebody will pick up. And usually the people that are at risk are the elderly, right? The elderly. And by the way, sometimes your kids pick up the phone and say, hello. And that kind of gives them, that's one reason why not let the children play with your phone, because if they do, they're actually confirming that your number to scammer, right? Fourth, use your phone setting uh, to filter spam, right? That does work. It's not perfect, but it does work. It reduces the exposure that you kind of get, that you might get hit by a scammer. Fifth, this this is the one that matters the most. Talk about this with people who might not know. Like for example, your grandparents, any elderly within your care or field of influence. They may not know what to do. You know, I sent out a video. God bless this person's heart. was talking about a particular scam that was going on. They said, "Oh, I never fall prey to a scammer." But the truth of the matter is that you do not know the scam that are being ran. If you ever answer the phone and say hello, one time you fell prey to a scammer. Now, they may not have done any damage at that point, but as they get more and more sophisticated, where they could clone your voice and things of that nature, just by a few words, um, it's going to be tough. Um, as you know, this common target weaknesses, like for example, why are the elderly susceptible to that? Because basically they are home by themselves. There are some lot of elderly people that they live by themselves, and they have nobody to talk to. When somebody calls, they think it's a family, and they say hello, hello, and before you know, they're falling prey to this type of target. Those people that are isolated, like they may not have a lot of friends. If you're a family member that you know of, just talk to them about this particular scam to see if you could prevent them from falling into that, right? So the whole point is, in the video, this is not going away. The fact of the matter is that this scam and all this scam are getting more and more sophisticated. I saw a scam yesterday dealing with not YouTube, but YouTube and some other social media events that was pretty sophisticated. They had the correct logo, the correct format for the letters. There was only a few things that you had to really look to make sure you knew what you were looking for. And I'm probably going to post a video about that next time. But the next thing that you might be you're probably going to experience is AI voices spoofing or sounding exactly like your mother, your sister, your daughter. Matter of fact, I got a call saying your daughter has been in an accident. I said, what? And I said, I hung up, and then I called my kid in another line. I said, no, Dad, I'm here. I'm home watching TV. So they're very, remember, this type of scamming is not technical so much as it is emotional. They try to hit your emotional bone and make you react. If you say a family member is injured, they always say, oh my God. But remember, don't fall prey to urgency. If somebody gives you a call and it's urgent, you say, okay, thank you very much. You hang up. Then you use another source to verify the information. Like, for example, if that person would say, oh, send me $100 because she needs to pay for a medical bill. Oh, yeah, sure. Let me send it to you. You would just have been prey to a scam. Lucky for me, I didn't do that. I kind of was able to hang up and dial another source to verify the information, because my daughter was in the hospital 2 days ago because she fell down, but it was a different story altogether. I was aware of that, but not a car accident, right? So I don't know how they know that stuff, but whatever. So in the long term, what they're trying to hit your emotion, they try to explore your fears, right? So the real key is awareness. Know about the scam. Know how to defeat it, right? You don't need to understand every single scam like we say over here. Just recognize the pattern and the silence. Today basically is, if you get a call and you don't say anything, if they don't say anything for 3 seconds, you could almost bet that is a scam going on, right? It's called a 3-second silence. They're waiting for you to say hello once, twice, so they could clone your voice. They're waiting for you to engage with the call. And what we're saying is, don't do it. Wait for 3 seconds, then hang up. First of all, if you can, don't even pick up the phone, or use some of the 5 tactics that we talked about here. It bears summarizing, right? If it's a wrong number, unknown number, let it ring. Don't touch the phone, right? If they leave a message, you can listen to the message and then you can say, "Oh, I don't know who that is." Then you can call back. If you hear silence, don't speak. Give it 2 seconds, then hang up, right? Never confirm any personal information if they call you. Is your name Joaquin? No, it's not. No, don't even say that. Don't confirm it. You say, just hang up. Even something small like your name can be used to build a profile. So if they begin to ask you personal information, just hang up. Fourth, use your phone setting to filter spam, right? Fifth, talk about this to people that may need it, like the elderly, people in isolation, people that don't have anybody to talk to. Just share the information with. And it is not here on this one, but it wasn't in my previous video. Do not fall prey to any emergency type of situation, because they're using fear tactics. They're using the urgency card, so to speak, to be able to ask you to take action and speak and do some other stuff, right? We talk about future proof, and you got all that. Okay. If you didn't lose your money because you may not lose your money, but you will lose your time. If you get hit by one of these scammers, like we got hit, we looked at our car and there was some questionable charges on it. We were able to dispute it. It took time away from us. We had to go to the bank. We had to get a new card, all kinds of different stuff. So you're either going to lose your money to the scam, or you're going to lose a lot of time because of it. So it's important that you kind of be aware as to what's going on. So that being said, that is the show for tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. You got to see not only, you got to see the video, although basically it's the end product. The system is a little slow tonight, so basically I was not able to preview most of it because basically. So that's the whole point. It got a little better, but you got to see the video, which is the end result. But I still have to do more work on it to make it better. You got to see that, right? You got to see the actual script that was used to generate that video, and you got to see, more importantly, the template. I had to call that template because it's a template. You got to see the master script that I used to create the script, right? And create the B-roll prompts that I'm going to use to create, unique B-roll content, right? So you got to see that, right? And all that instruction, and I know I'm going backwards in case you want to get it, but it's available for free. If you are interested on something like this, contact me and I'll see what I could do to share the information. That's great. Thank you